Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ringside Rundown podcast. My name is Eric Vasquez, and joining me on the line is my podcasting partner in crime. Yes, that rhymes. She is coming straight from the Berg. She is none other than Shay Hickson. Shay, what's going on, my friend? How are you this week?
I'm trying to survive the up and down weather we have because it's all
Yeah,
over the place. It's
it
all
is.
over.
It is definitely all over the place. I actually had to turn my heat back on earlier today. It was kind of a little chilly, so I don't know what's going on, but much like us to complain about the weather already.
Yeah, because I mean, why wouldn't we? There's nothing else to complain about, obviously. But yeah, it kind of if it's gonna be cold, stay cold. If it's gonna be warm, I prefer it not to be warm, but it is what it is. But yeah, we're trying to get through it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, welcome into another episode. This is episode 152 of the Ringside Rundown podcast. It is a podcast about professional wrestling where Shay and I answer questions sent in by you guys about what's going on in the world of WWE and AEW. And tonight we also have an extra edition. We're going to be giving our predictions for AEW Dynasty pay-per-view that is happening this weekend on pay-per-view. It's going to be a good show, I think so. And they don't have a lot of matches advertised so far. They only have about 6 matches advertised, but we're going to give our thoughts on the show and our predictions for you, along with all your wonderful questions about what's going on in WWE and AEW. So, shall we get right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What's the first question? Are we doing questions or are we doing We're doing predictions first.
Yeah, I mean, we could do either or. We
Yeah.
can switch it
Let's.
up if we want.
Um. I don't know. It's up to you. I
Oh
completely
boy.
lost track of what we plan on doing. How about we do the predictions first? How about that?
Yeah, let's just do it.
All right. So first up, we have for the AEW TNT Championship, we have Daniel Garcia defending the title against Adam Cole. Now, this one I was a little confused. I mean, not really confused. I don't know if I'm into it as much because I'm of the belief that Adam Cole should be in the main event picture for the world title, but this should be a good match nonetheless. By the way, this match has no time limit and no outside interference is permitted. So this one is not going to end up like it did on Collision, where they went to a time limit draw. This one must have a winner. What are your thoughts on the match, and are you looking forward to it?
Kind of in the same boat as you. I'm not as looking forward to it as I probably should because just this whole feud's been just odd. It's just weird because okay, well Adams had what 2 chances already and lost has lost. So usually that means like, hey, let's not give him another chance just because. And honestly, that promo between those two didn't really do either of them a lot of favors. Garcia wasn't so sharp. Adam was good because I mean he's just good. He always has been good on the mic, but
Right.
Garcia is not as strong as Cole is, but yeah, I wish I could be more excited about this match because they have good chemistry. Their match a couple weeks ago was great.
Yeah.
But it's like, do we really need to see this again? And
Right.
I feel like I feel like the only reason this match is even happening is that it has to end with Cole winning. Like he has to win the title because why else would we have this match? And if you
Yeah.
have him lose again, it's gonna make no sense.
Yeah. My biggest gripe though is that I feel like Adam Cole should be higher up on the card
Oh yeah,
and should be a
should.
bigger deal for AEW. I think we talked about it before. My thoughts have always been that the current phase of the Undisputed Kingdom should be the ones that are leading the charge for Team AEW against the Death Riders if this Death Riders takeover was done properly.
Yeah.
And especially if we wanted to make sure that the Undisputed Kingdom come across as good guys like they're doing right now. I think they should have been put higher up on the card. Like you said, at least out of this, we're going to get a pretty good match. I think this is going to be a solid wrestling match. Usually, Adam Cole matches are really good, and Daniel Garcia has always been a proficient professional wrestler. So I'm not too worried about the match itself. I think it's going to be great. It might actually be one of the show stealers. However, again, it just I'm out of it mentally as a fan because I believe that Adam Cole should be a bigger deal. Could you imagine if we would have got like John Moxley Adam Cole feud, or even a Swerve Strickland Adam Cole feud, it would have been phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been, but that's in the multiverse we don't exist in right now because I mean I agree with you too. Like we've seen what Adam Cole can do, and the fact that he's kind of relegated to, you hate saying secondary title, but that's pretty much what it is.
Right.
You kind of hate seeing him there because we were saying the same thing with Jay White a while ago, and I mean he's kind of almost there, but not yet. But I mean, he's in a better place now than he was a little bit ago. But still, it's just like I get that you have a lot of mid or like main level talent, like main event talent, but when you start to put the higher end people in the lower card programming, it starts to become a little too obvious, and I feel like that's what this is too. But I'm still gonna stick with you. Got it. They have to have Adam Cole win this because
Yeah,
if not, it's gonna be a waste of time.
yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you there. I think I also am going to be selecting Adam Cole as the winner of the match. And he's going to be the new TNT champion. But I mean, if you look at Adam Cole's career, this is kind of a trajectory that they kind of do a lot often. They even did it in NXT, where
Yeah,
he was the mid card champion for a while before he got to that main event level and became the world champion. But it did happen. But I do feel like maybe that's the route that they're going with. I just don't necessarily agree with it. I think he should already be established as a main event player,
yeah,
but at least this match will be really, really good and it'll be something to look forward to.
yeah. I completely agree.
All right. Next up, a match that neither of us are really looking forward to, but it's happening anyway. It is a title versus mask match where Chris Jericho will be putting up the Ring of Honor World Championship and facing Bandito. Now, if Bandito doesn't win this one, he's going to have to give up his mask. So, this is a title versus mask situation. I am, obviously, we've talked about it plenty of times,
Just say it.
not the biggest supporter and fan of Chris Jericho. I do, however, was invested when that happened during the pre-show and Jericho beat down Bandito and Gravity in front of their mother and sister. I thought that was okay, because
Yeah,
it's kind of like a real life situation, kind of involving people that are not from the wrestling world and putting them in that situation. So I was okay. And then I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Bandito and Gravity are brothers. That's pretty cool,
yeah,
that he's standing up for his brother. I mean, obviously, I just, it's Chris Jericho. Like,
yeah. It's like who cares?
yeah, it's Chris Jericho, man. It's just,
Is this supposed to get us excited? Because it's sure as shit not making me excited. Like,
yeah. Like
eh.
I don't really give a crap for it,
Like, I don't
like
even think this is on the pre-show. That's the worst part. This is on the
right.
actual card. Like, what are we doing here? And I guarantee you, because we know how this goes, there's going to be one match on the pre-show, maybe. Let's not guarantee it, but maybe there's going to be a match on the pre-show if they have one where we're like, why couldn't this have been on the main card and not the Jericho match? Because it's just like because it just doesn't, like, I am so apathetic to this guy that as soon as his music hits, I completely tune out. Like, I could
Oh,
not.
I've been doing that for about 2 years now.
Like, I genuinely, like, I'm glad that you told me that happened because I didn't even know that happened because I just don't fucking care about Jericho at all. But I don't know. I'm sure he's already politicked in the back and been like, look, it's going to be really good for me if Bandito loses his mask and it's just going to be better for everybody around. So it's just like, why are we not going to not pick Jericho? It's going to be Jericho because why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. Oh, you think Jericho's actually gonna win? You think we're actually gonna see what Bandito looks like underneath that mask?
I mean, to be fair, that's the only safe bet because it's like I just don't pay attention to anything Jericho does. So it's just like I just assume that he's going to try and convince Tony Khan that him winning's going to always be the best bet for everything. So,
Right.
sure.
I mean, I would normally agree with you in any other situation, but I think if you take the mask off of Bandito, you take away a lot from him. I think I
Yeah.
think I think the mask really adds to his deal, and I'm hoping that Tony Khan is looking at Ring of Honor differently and saying maybe I should go with the unconventional way and possibly put the title back on Bandito, because Bandito is a former Ring of Honor world champion before. I mean, it can't hurt Ring of Honor. I mean, it's Ring of Honor is already in the doldrums as it is.
Yeah.
You know, like they're in pretty rough shape in terms of viewership, and it's not a product that is highly requested and highly sought after in the wrestling world. It's just I don't know. Like, yeah, I think part of it is just there's no interest from either you or I in this match, so it's kind of hard to figure out
Yeah.
like who we want to come away with the victory. I'd say Bandito because I don't see a reason to take the mask off of Bandito, so that's my prediction for
Could you
Bandito.
believe? Could you just believe if we just picked the same the rest of the way? Which, let's be honest, our listeners know that's a probably there's a good chance of that happening. Could you imagine you lose your predictions title because of Chris Jericho? Could you
I,
imagine? That's the ultimate slap in the face for you.
yeah. Now
Like,
you just made me feel really, really bad. Like
like,
I'm putting all my money on a Chris Jericho match.
ew,
You know?
ugh. God, that just sounded terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it. All
Uh,
right, but you made the decision, so we'll
I'm
see.
we'll see, we'll see. Well, what about this next one coming up? We have the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta defending the AEW Trios Championships against Rated FTR. That is Adam Copeland, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood of FTR. Now, there's been some, I
Drama.
guess, tension in
Yeah.
Camp FTR. Dax is
Yeah.
kind of losing his mind. I don't know if you saw on Collision, Dax Harwood
Yeah.
went one on one with Wheeler Yuta, and Wheeler Yuta ended up getting the win with a backpack pin. And Dax Harwood kind of lost his mind, attacked the referee, and actually shoved his partner to the mat in
Yeah.
Cash Wheeler. So I think Dax Wheeler is losing his mental a little bit.
Yeah, dealing with the Death Riders will do that to you, clearly.
Yeah, it must be that.
I mean, could you imagine having to put up with that every week? Drive you insane. So yeah, I get it. I fully get it, but ah, it's just Copeland just can't stay away from them, can they? Like,
No,
I
I don't.
don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about this one. This one, I could see it going either way. Yeah, but are they really gonna try and possibly live in a world where the Death Riders lose everything all in one night? Because it could happen.
Oh, it could happen. I didn't even think about it that way, but I mean,
It doesn't feel like it though.
I am going with Rated FTR because I feel like Copeland's like, all right, well, I lost, and I took the finish on that Dynamite for that street fight. They can't say I'm politicking my way, but I'm politicking my way.
Except,
Yeah,
unfortunately, I might think I'm gonna have to agree with you because I could just see him being like, "Well, I didn't win the title, but I'm still gonna get gold somehow." And those are my friends; those are like my best friends. So that's the
yeah,
least you could do
exactly.
for us. It's like, sure, why
I
not?
I don't want to be that guy to be like so and so is politicking their way to a championship,
Unless it's
but
Jericho.
unless it's Jericho, because that's so obvious. But who would have thought it would be someone like Adam Copeland that you're like, wow, this guy is really like he's a grade A politician when it comes to professional wrestling.
Yeah, it's sad. It's kind of sad because at first you want to just be like, nah, that's not the case. Come on, that's just like whatever. But then when you actually like look into it a little more, you're like, ugh, that's yeah, you can't really defend that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just so weird. Like maybe because I remember I heard a quote from Cody Rhodes that said, anytime an old vet comes around and they say, "Hey, we want to work with the
Mhm.
younger company to help the younger guys and girls out to get better." Every time
No.
Cody says, every time somebody says that, it's a red flag. And
Yeah, because I feel like it's kind of tough to I mean, I'm sure like maybe some people initially might feel that way, but then I feel like once you kind of get lost in the oh, this is how it used to be back in the day, guys. This is how I used to be like this
back
used
in my day,
back in my day, and you kind of get the like rush of adrenaline and power and gold and kind of starts to slip a little bit. Like, I think probably the best example that I keep seeing flying around Twitter right now, unfortunately for good reason, was that that promo with Punk and MJF when Punk's like, "Yeah, you think it's grass is greener on the other side. Go over there and what was it? Main event the four for or buy one two for four special main event of the pay per view." And it's just like, which is exactly what you're doing right now,
Wow.
but didn't age well. But it is what it is. But yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like, especially in the world of professional wrestling, it's very difficult to genuinely be selfless.
Mm.
Because, I mean, at some point or another, you do have to kind of look out for yourself, and it's kind of a double edged sword where if you're too nice, oh, well, you're not taking enough chances. And then when you start taking your chances, it's like, now, wait a minute, that's like, that could have been mine. It's just like, it's such a gray area, I think.
Yeah.
But then when it gets abused, it starts to get a little less black and start to become a little more black and white and less gray. But yeah, unfortunately, I feel like this is going to be kind of like the you owe us for putting Moxley over. So I mean, ugh.
Ooh.
You hate saying it, but it kind of is. I mean, if they do win, it's kind of what people are going to speculate anyway. So
the
maybe we're just
the
beating people
only
to
way
it.
the only way I see it not happening is if they want to advance the whole idea that there's a rift and that there's tension inside of FTR between Dax and Cash. But
Maybe,
I don't see the point in doing that, honestly.
yeah. Like
I really don't. I really don't see the point in like, what do you gain if you split apart FTR?
you
You
make
know?
possibly one star and not another because unfortunately
Yeah.
I mean we've kind of seen it. Unfortunately, Dax is more of the gifted wrestler out of the two, and that's not saying Cash is bad. He isn't. He's good, but
He's good in the tag team setting, but
yeah,
without a
he doesn't
tag
really.
team partner,
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything like quality wise. Like I mean, like he can cut a decent promo, but I mean Dax is more the promo guy too, so it's
right?
kind of
Whenever it's
tough.
not like wrestling in my family.
Yeah, whenever it's not the usual stuff. I love professional wrestling, but when you tell him, "Hey, do something not I love professional wrestling," he can still get it done. But Cash is like, again, he's good, but he doesn't have anything that really makes him stand out, like you said, out of a tag team setting. So
Right.
one could be a star, the other could be wildly exposed, and that's
Yeah.
not gonna end well for him. But
Yeah, so I don't see the benefit in actually separating FTR. You know, if anything, they could honestly be the leaders of the tag team division and
yeah,
at least be a focal point to say, hey, at least our tag team division is legit.
yeah, that would be that would be nice, wouldn't it? So
Uh, so,
yeah.
all right, I'm going with rated FTR to politic their way into a win in the AEW Trios Championship. What about you, Shay?
Yeah, I gotta go with rated FTR as well.
Rated FTR. I'm writing all this down because we all know I have a horrible memory,
Yeah, you
and
tried taking one from me before, so we gotta.
yeah. I'm writing it down this time so that way I can hold on to my championship. You
Yeah,
know.
well, unless Jericho takes it from you single handedly.
Listen. All right, we're not gonna put that bad juju.
You might not, but
All
anyway.
right. And next up for the AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless Tony Storm defends the title against newcomer, someone that's been lighting the world on fire, Megan Bain. I'm actually looking forward to this match, of course, because it's Timeless Tony Storm,
Yeah,
and she's fantastic, and anything she does is fantastic.
I agree. I mean, still a little mad at Tony for beating Mariah, and Mariah's been gone ever since. So I'm a little mad about that, but it's fine. But Tony's great. Megan's good too. I'm again as a mythology nerd, I kind of like the persona she has.
Hmm.
However, this is very quick. This
Oh,
was really, 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 really quick.
yeah.
Like once they started hinting at it, I'm sure you were probably thinking the same. I'm like, okay, please, are we not we can't do this already. Like there's no way. She only had, I think at the time, like what, 3 matches? Maybe?
Right.
And
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, we really are gonna fucking do this, aren't we? Which is fine. It's like, and obviously that's no discredit to Megan Bayne. She's great. But it's also like that's really quick. In
Mm.
either situation, if you think about it, if Tony beats her, it's like, okay, you just destroyed any momentum that you spent a month building up for her, and she's gonna have to battle from the like ground up. Or you rushed into this and you had Megan Payne beat Tony for the title for whatever fucking reason. I don't really see why, if anybody, it would be Megan Payne, but they've done some dumb shit before, so I wouldn't put it past them, but I would like to think that's not the case, but I'm just gonna feel bad because I mean, of course I'm picking Tony because I just can't see them beating I can't see Megan Payne beating her already,
Right.
but it's just a shame because it's like you were gonna strap the rocket to Megan Payne only to have her lose already on a big title shot like this. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Not
kind of
only
just
that,
weird.
but Megan's been laying Tony out
Yeah.
multiple times over this build up to this match, to make it seem like, that she is I mean, she does look like a formidable, credible threat
Yeah.
to Tony Storm's title reign. I'm not saying she's not a threat. She looks like a threat, but they're really making her look like a threat by having her constantly lay Tony out. She laid her out on Collision. She beat her clean in that tag team match on Dynamite the Wednesday before. She's
Hmm.
beaten Tony clean before on Dynamite. So it's like, damn, they're really building up Megan to be this thing. But if she loses, does all that rocket fuel just disappear?
Yeah, I mean it's tough too because it's just like it's all I don't know. I feel like at least for me, I don't know about you. I feel like this almost just telegraphs the fact that Tony's retaining the title because we've seen this shit before. The
Mm-hmm.
champion has the odds stacked against them, and no, there's no way they're going to be able to beat somebody like that. And then she rolls her up or something. Like, doesn't
Right,
legit beat her because I couldn't see them after all of this shit, her fully beating her clean 1, 2, 3. She's gonna like sneak it out a little bit, not so much cheating, but just like, oh, just when you think Megan's finally got her, and oh my god, this might actually be the end, all of a sudden Tony pulls out that roll up and wins. Like,
right.
so it's almost a little too obvious, and I guarantee you that's how that match is going to end. And you can bookmark this and come back to this later, and I'll be wrong. I'll admit
I,
if I'm wrong, but
I'm gonna put it in parentheses next to your name.
all right,
Roll up.
all right, and then we'll see what happens because
Yeah.
I just again the way they've been building this whole thing, it would be very hard for me to believe that Megan Baines laid her out week after week after week only for Tony to hit one storm zero and she's done. Like,
Mm.
it seems a little hard to believe. So I feel like Tony's gonna sneak this one out, but I think she's still gonna win, and hopefully this doesn't completely destroy any momentum Megan Bain has, because she can be a very good star in this division. It's just
Yeah. She fits very well,
yeah,
with her size and her look and her mysterious ways that she goes about things. And Penelope Ford's not. I was kind of confused by the addition of Penelope Ford, but
works.
honestly, yeah, it kind of works. It kind of works. I'm not gonna lie, it works for me. They make a good pair. But again, I think just all the signs of maybe they're trying to build up Megan Bain so that way if she loses, she doesn't look like they can still build upon that
Yeah,
afterward.
yeah,
So we're both going with Tony Storm to retain the AEW Women's World Championship, correct?
yes.
Alrighty, there it is. Tony Storm retaining the AEW Women's World Championship. That is our prediction. And then moving on, we have a three-way match for the AEW International Championship between Kenny Omega defending the title against the newly married Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey. This is his first AEW pay-per-view with the company. I think this has the potential to be a show stealer.
Oh, it absolutely will be. Because I mean, just on paper, looking at these three, you're like, oh, this is going to be fucking fantastic to watch. Like, it most likely will be match of the night, I'd think,
Yeah,
because what other
imagine.
competition is going to have? Like,
Yeah, because I don't see there I don't think there's a path for a Will Osprey match, which is kind of weird. We're so used to having
yeah.
Will Osprey on pay per view. It's kind of strange not to have him on this pay per view so far.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hoping they don't just realize that and they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna throw him in this because we don't have him on here and it's only 3 days before the show." But I mean, I hope that's not the case. But that is what it's gonna be. But no, I feel like this is going to probably be the match of the night.
Mm.
Again, just the chemistry that these three could have is going to be absolutely insane. But there's no way Kenny's losing this title already. Like, there's no
I
way.
I have Omega down as the winner as well, but I will
Hmm.
not be surprised if Ricochet comes away with the win.
Oh God, could you fucking
It,
imagine? Could you
it,
fucking imagine?
only because the insufferable things that he says and does in the ring, it's starting to click. Now it's just, I don't know if it's go away heat or just heat in
Yeah,
itself, but it just, now it's just kind of, he kind of fell into, oh my god, this guy is kind of a pretentious dick. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
he cut that pre-taped promo from his wedding and he was dressed like a cult leader. You know, like,
Yes, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so it's just like he's falling into to whatever he's trying to achieve as a bad guy for AEW. I The only reason I don't see them putting the belt on Speedball, obviously, because he's
no,
still kind of brand new, so it wouldn't make sense to put the belt on Speedball. And that's the only reason I see them maybe possibly putting it on Ricochet, because he's fallen into this new gimmick that is actually starting to work well. But then why would you take the title off of Kenny Omega on his first title defense? I'm never a fan of having someone lose a title on their first title defense.
yeah, exactly. So I feel like, as annoying as it would be if Ricochet would win this goddamn match, it wouldn't be a surprise. However, you gotta at least give Kenny a little bit with it, just a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, I want to see Kenny have a run with it. Maybe a Kenny Omega Kyle Fletcher feud would be great
Ooh, that'd be
for
good.
the international championship. I think that would be very good. I would love to see Kenny and Kyle Fletcher mix it up again. I'm big. I feel like the way we are reacting to Kyle Fletcher and what Kyle Fletcher is doing is how they want us to react to what Ricochet is doing.
Yeah, which I mean, when you're good, you're just good. Like it's just
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe Kyle just made it more believable early on and didn't have to fight as much as Ricochet is because
maybe so. Yeah.
at first it was like, this is not good. Well, I mean, the whole Andrew Tate thing didn't help either. He kind of shot himself out the gate real quick with that one. But yeah, I mean, maybe he's finally figuring it out. But I feel like the biggest difference between him and Fletcher is that Fletcher didn't need to take as long to figure it out.
Fletcher was just ready to go, ready to rear back and let
Yeah,
it fly, basically.
yeah, and he
Yeah,
did.
yeah, I agree with you. But as for the match, we both have Omega retaining the AEW International Championship.
Yep.
All right. All right. Now, this is the main event. Now, we're not saying there aren't more matches. This is just, as of this recording, these are the only matches that are advertised so far. They have 6 matches advertised, but we know AEW doesn't do that.
No,
AEW
not at all.
doesn't have just 6 matches on a card.
They
There's
should.
yeah, yeah, it probably would be a lot. I mean, on paper, this is a pretty good pay-per-view, just the 6
Yeah.
matches that they have.
It's like, Tony, just leave it. Please, you're doing fine. You don't need
Yeah,
to do any more. Stop.
right. I feel like even the matches we're not excited for can actually benefit from getting a little bit of extra time, and that would only help by consolidating your card and making it a little smaller.
Yeah. Like, please, I'm begging you. Just don't fuck this up. He's gonna fuck
But
it up, but don't fuck it up.
no, well, for the main event for the AEW World Championship, we have champion John Moxley defending the title against the former champion Swerve Strickland. This one's tough for me to predict.
Yeah, I unfortunately agree with you because who else could beat him at this point except somebody like Swerve? Like,
Exactly, yeah.
Swerve could believably be. Like, I mean, Copeland wasn't bad, but I think you and I, especially throughout this whole thing, were like, he can't be the guy. He's not going to be the guy that finally takes out Moxley. Swerve, on the other hand, can easily be that guy, and we'd be
Right.
like, yeah, that makes total sense. Like he could do it, and like, why wouldn't he? But I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna go that way though or not. But I mean, I just hope it's a better match than we got at the last pay per view because that was,
Yeah, I think it's
e
going to be a better match. I think Swerve is going to pretty much carry the weight of the match and make sure it's a competent
yeah,
wrestling match.
and not
You
standing
know,
in quicksand. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Moxley is just going to do the typical Moxley brawling thing, but I think Swerve is going to hold up his end of the bargain and make it a good wrestling match. I just have a hard time. Like you said, it can go either way. It can go with Swerve, or you can. The thing is, if you go with Moxley and more Swerve too, what's the story after? What's
yeah,
post Dynasty going to look like? What direction can you go? With Moxley still as champ, what direction can you go with Swerve as the new two-time champ?
yeah.
It's I
I don't know. I feel like too, we kind of have to take the whole Owen Hart tournament into play
I
too,
was just thinking that. Yep, I was just thinking about that.
because especially with some of the people that are in it, it would be kind of. I'm not gonna say it would be a little less believable if Swerve was champion, but do we really want to fuck Swerve over again like we did last year? Because
Right.
I still have PTSD from that, so I'd rather not see that happen to Swerve again because you could easily see Osprey win it, you could easily see Jay White win it, and it would make a
Right.
little more sense to have them prevail over the evil that is the Death Riders at All In. So I feel
Right.
like I don't even
I
want to
think
say
that's gonna steer my prediction into
it.
Mox retaining.
And I feel like he'll do some stupid shit to do it though too, because I feel like they're relying so much on you'll get involved or someone will get involved and something dumb's gonna happen. And I mean he's gonna probably cheat to win. I doubt that they're gonna actually have him beat Swerve clean. So there's gonna be some stupid shenanigans that we've seen, oh, I don't know, every single week for the last like 3 months it feels like. So that's gonna get annoying, but I don't even want to say it, but it's the truth. It's like I feel like just because of what potentially could happen at All Out, I think they gotta have Moxley keep it for now. Because why the fuck not?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think if anything, Mox is probably going to end up losing that title at the Texas All In show
Yeah.
in July. I think that'll be and that kind of I don't see anything wrong with that.
No,
You
I mean,
know,
is it a little predictable? Yes, but you sometimes want the big moment, I guess, at the biggest pay per view. So sure.
and at this point, I kind of wouldn't mind AEW to be predictable for at least they're doing the logical thing rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, if you're gonna be predictable, don't be stupid about it.
Right,
Like,
right.
there's a difference in doing being predictable in a good way and then being predictable just because you're being dumb. And unfortunately, I feel like sometimes AEW kind of falls more into the you're being predictable in the dumb ways. So if it's not gonna, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you
Right.
want the big feel good moment in All In, sure, just let it happen because people are gonna enjoy it. People are gonna enjoy it one way or another. So
For sure, for sure.
sure,
So, like I said, there right now, as of this recording of the show, there's only 6 matches on the card. You're gonna be listening to this hopefully when it comes out on Wednesday. So they might actually drop more matches. Shay and I are gonna reconvene through the DMs if there are more matches to get more predictions to make sure that I retain the predictions championship.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
right now, we both have Daniel Garcia beating Adam Cole. You
No,
have
no, no, no. We both picked Adam Cole winning.
oh, we both picked Adam
Yeah,
Cole. Why did I write down Daniel Garcia? I'm telling you, I'm losing my mind here.
just losing
I
it.
I am losing it. We're both picking Adam Cole. Thank you for correcting me on
Of
that. We
course.
got Adam Cole, and then you have Chris Jericho retaining the Ring of Honor World Championship, and I have Bandito. That is one match that is separating us. We shall see. We both have rated FTR becoming the new AEW Trios champions. We both have Tony Storm retaining the AEW Women's World Championship. We have Kenny Omega retaining the International Championship and Mox retaining the AEW World Championship. So really, everything rides on that Chris Jericho Bandito match. Should there not be more matches added to this card?
Yeah. Could you just imagine if that's gonna be the thing that it comes down to? Like, that's just ironic for us, but
Just my luck, I tell you.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our predictions for the AEW Dynasty pay per view that is happening this Sunday. Just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, I do the Twitch streaming and everything like that. If you're a Twitch subscriber or a Twitch moderator for us, you have access to a special secret section of our Discord where we're going to be watching the AEW pay per view. So maybe consider, I'll let you know what the Twitch link is later on in the show, and maybe consider subscribing to the show so you can come hang out with us in Discord and watching it so you don't have to shell out $50. I feel like that's a good deal.
Yeah, yeah, save the money.
Yeah, save the money. But anyway, here's time to get to our favorite part of the show. It is where we answer your questions, the questions you guys sent in to us about what's going on in WWE and AEW. And I'm sure there are a lot of questions about what happened, what went down on Raw last night.
Oh, you could say there was a couple. So let's just get started with let's just go with Mom's because it's the first one that showed up. So speaking of Raw, Gunther is due a butt whooping from Jay. That beatdown on Jimmy was very hard to watch. Yeah, it was if you wanted a reason to actually care about Jay and Gunther, I think you kind of found it now. Like I think
Yeah,
they did a very good job of making people actually care about this match. Not that I don't think a lot of people didn't. I mean, a lot of people were kind of like iffy on it because it's like, is Jay really going to be like legit or whatever? But I
right.
think this kind of helps you like pull for him a little more, where it's like, okay, like he deserves to get his ass beat for that because that was painful.
That yeah, last yesterday was gruesome. Was
Yeah,
gruesome. And I actually said the same thing I said online. I said, if this doesn't get you, if this doesn't sell you on the match for WrestleMania, I don't know what will, because this was this was some cinema. This was
yeah.
definitely some cinema. This had you watching and kind of watching in horror because it looked like a horror scene.
Yeah, ugh. It was just, so much blood. Ugh.
There was a lot of blood, and Gunther was looking like an absolute psychopath.
Wiping it
And it
all over himself. I'm like,
yeah,
ugh, stop.
it was one of those things where it's like, you're watching the superhero kind of in a compromised position, and then he's watching one of his loved ones being excommunicated. It's just
Yeah,
it was that was hard to watch,
yeah.
between that and the Cena stuff. I don't know what was better, because I was just
Oof.
like, my God, the way they've cinematically all put this together to make you want to root for Jay because he's watching one of his loved ones being dismantled. And he called it, because Jay told him before the match, go out there, be careful. He
Yeah,
told him, be careful. And he told him for good reason, because he wasn't careful and he just
no.
got absolutely decimated.
Yeah, that was ugh. That was like that is always like the middle movie of any trilogy that if
Yeah.
there ever was one. Like you gotta go through the adversity to prevail over the evil in the end. So it's gonna be interesting now. Now I'm a little more excited for that match at WrestleMania because yikes, that was
Yeah,
just
and it
whew.
and it also tips the scales to say maybe Jay comes out of this like as
Yeah,
champion, because like
maybe he
how
found it.
how do you have the opportunity to get your revenge for what he did yesterday on Raw
Yeah.
and not come away as the victor? I would feel horrible if it was my job to stand up for my brother, and I come away catching an ass whooping just like my brother did.
Yeah, I feel like if they wanted to go that way and get the whole redemption like arc going, I think they should have done that a little bit ago. So I feel like they have to do it now because there is no like believable way for it to actually ah how am I trying to word it? The big like prevailing moment shouldn't be at anything other than WrestleMania. So if it was supposed to be this big, I mean, it kind of is redemption a little bit because Gunther's been telling Jay, you can't beat me. Every time we
Mm-hmm.
face each other, you can't beat me. So I guess they're kind of doing that, but I feel like if they wanted to pull the whole I'm trying to get like avenge my brother kind of thing, they could have done it a little earlier if he
Right.
was meant to lose and then just come back and win the next one. But either way, it's still going to be a very good match. I'm excited for
Yeah.
it. But oh god, just him wiping the blood all over himself. I'm just like, ugh.
He looked like a horror movie villain.
Yeah,
And
Leatherface.
yeah, he looked like someone who was like a psycho. It looked like American Psycho. Like he was just covered in Jimmy's blood, and he was kind of reveling in the idea of being covered in Jimmy's blood.
Yeah.
Um, so it kind of made him look like a psychopath. You know,
It
so
was
like
just
I mean, I'm definitely into this match now. I was into the match before, but I
yeah.
feel I feel like now Jay's gonna come back and he's gonna be kind of crazy, like
I hope
unhinged.
so.
Like he might come back and just Gunther at least expected. Here comes Jay running through the crowd with like a sledgehammer or something, looking to
Yeah.
take out the ring general. He's no pun intended. He's probably gonna come back for blood.
Yeah, he's gonna have to because I mean, like anything less than that's gonna be a failure. So you kind of have
Yeah.
to. But
Yeah, wow.
yeah,
What an amazing way to get this back on track and set it up for something great.
yeah, I completely agree. They did a full 180 on it, so I'm glad that more people hopefully should care about this now. And if they don't, like you said, if they don't care, then they were never gonna care in the first place. So
Yeah, yeah, there's nothing if they didn't care about it after what happened on Raw, then they were never going to care about it in the first place.
yeah. Also, which I find okay. So while we're on kind of the topic of Raw, before we get to the next question that technically has was answered or asked by both Mom and Mike, we surprisingly didn't get a question about the EO and Rhea match,
Ooh.
and I have some feelings because
Uh-oh.
because because we said a couple weeks back. I said a couple weeks back. I said, okay, I love Rhea. Obviously, everybody knows I love Rhea. However, you're going to have to really convince me that she deserves to be in this match. And I feel like up until this point, they hadn't really done that job because even last week, I was like, why are we having this match with Io? Like, this like doesn't make any fucking sense
Mhm.
because why are you even doing this? And then you have Bianca being the special guest ref. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is how we get the triple threat. Something dumb's going to happen and multiple dumb things happened
Hmm.
and I wasn't that's not entirely how I thought that it was going to go. I thought like yeah, maybe both of them accidentally hit her and she just like beats them both down and then nobody wins. But I wasn't really expecting them to pull the whole well that's it, I'm just calling the match like it's over. Like that was a little odd to me.
Mm.
The match itself wasn't bad, which I'm not surprised. Like Io and Rhea have good chemistry, so that wasn't a shock there. However, that still didn't convince me that Rhea should be in it because they're just not giving me a reason to. And then the best way I can put this, and this is gonna most likely this is gonna be a hard truth for some people on Twitter. This is why this was not gonna be the main event of night one.
Too much
Because
confusion around it.
it's too much confusion. They should have done this. What they should have done is that if they were really just dead set on this whole, it was going to be a triple threat thing, whatever, you should have just had, and I don't know, I'm sure they could have tried to explain it somehow. You should have had Bianca be the ref at the original title match back months ago. That's how it should have been. If you were so dead
Mm.
set on this is how it's going to go, this is going to be the triple threat, this is what we want, you should have done that to begin with, not
Yeah, because
literally
she was already locked in for the match at
exactly like
WrestleMania.
exactly, not 3 weeks before the show because now it's just like it feels like you're just trying to shoehorn Rhea in, which I hate saying that, but it's just like you guys have made this so convoluted and so just ass backwards that it's like I don't even want Rhea to be in the match. And I fucking love Rhea. Like she's one of my favorite wrestlers, but it's just like there's no reason for her to be in this match anymore because you guys have booked it to make it seem like she doesn't need it or shouldn't be in it. So I'm just frustrated because I'm like, you guys could have done this so much better. And you
Yeah.
just, I'll just be honest, you fucked it up. You really fucked this whole thing up. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is a. It's not. it's not necessarily confusing, but it is convoluted.
Yeah, and
You know.
people shouldn't have to do gymnastics to like understand why this is this, or you shouldn't have to really like pull and just scratch and claw for even a shred of justification for Rhea. I mean, like, at the very least, now you can finally have her say, I had a shot and you fucked me over because you were butthurt because you got hit. You weren't the one doing your job, so you just took your ball and went home. So it's like now Rhea has a reason. She should have had that reason a month or two ago. Again,
Mm.
you should have just had Bianca again. I don't know how they could have spun it. I'm sure they could have tried. You could have had Bianca as the special guest ref the first match, the first title match, and then you could have set the triple threat up that way. But now it's just like I don't know what they're doing. I genuinely don't know what they're doing and it's confusing, but
Yeah, I mean, my thing is like I feel like whoever wins the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber match to get this opportunity, that shouldn't be fucked with. It shouldn't be turned into a triple threat match because in the long run, if the other person was supposed to get a title shot, they should have won the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber.
okay, well also before we even like go on with that, I am so fucking sick and tired. Drop the whole Rumble stipulation thing. If you
Yeah.
guys are clearly not going to have whoever wins the Rumble main event WrestleMania, don't fucking bother because neither of the winners this year are main eventing WrestleMania. Like,
Well, I mean,
just stop.
I mean, I again, it goes back to what Triple H said. He's not going to sacrifice the main event just for like the sake of main event. The story has to match up with the stature of the main event. But I do agree that instead of saying the main event, they should just say
Just go to
the
WrestleMania.
yeah, they're going to WrestleMania to get a title shot. That
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean you're closing out the show, you're main eventing. I mean, are we really gonna buy that Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton should
God,
close out a WrestleMania?
God, no.
I don't think so. You know, so
Not even close.
yeah, so I think what they should do is reword it to say if you win the Royal Rumble or you win the Elimination Chamber, you get a respect title shot forever who that coincides with, but not necessarily mean that you're going to get the main event of the evening. I think it should go to the story that is most deserving of it.
Exactly. It's just like they just need to reword it a little bit because people take it a little too. I mean, I'm honestly take it literally because I'm not sure how else you can interpret this
Yeah.
person is main eventing WrestleMania because they won the Rumble, and neither one of them are main eventing at all. And granted, out of the two, Jay could have maybe had more of a chance,
Right.
but just the circumstance, and again, just the circumstances, because you don't know what the hell's going on until like around that time, so things can change, which I get that, but just stop insulting the fans' intelligence because they're going to call you out on it every single time, and they do every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say, like, we live in a world now where, like, you have to make sure all your bases are covered because there's gonna be some dipshit online that's gonna pick apart every single thing that you do and
Hmm.
try to find the hole in your plots and all this stuff to be like, ah, these guys are idiots. Simply to just catch you in an aha, not to help
Yeah,
you or anything. It's just simply to catch you in an aha. We're gonna go, ah, they did this and they actually ended up doing it. So you want to
yeah,
cover your bases and make sure that doesn't happen.
exactly. But uh, it's just some of it's just a little bit of a mess. However,
Mm-mm.
this next part that both Mom and Mike asked, I'm going to kind of combine their questions and comments. So Mom said, obviously, the Cena and Cody promo was fire, and Mike said they both went for the jugular for each of them. What was our favorite cold line from that promo battle? For Mike, it was the billionaires line.
Um,
Oh, I know mine. Mine was pretty. I mean, obviously the billionaires one was the easy choice, but I loved the very last line that Cody said to Cena when Cena went to walk away, and he's like, "You know the difference between you and I, John? I've never had a crowd tell me I can't wrestle."
yeah,
And
yeah, I
it beat,
think,
and he was pissed about that. He
yeah,
struck a nerve with that one, but oof.
yeah. I probably gonna. I think that one did. There was one. I'm trying to think. The more dick in the promo than in the
Ah,
jorts one was pretty good.
I like the
The
chauffeur. That was another one too.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I
Yeah.
didn't even realize that, like, basically Cody used to be John Cena's young boy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, doing all of his carry my luggage, drive me to the shows. I think I'm gonna agree with you. I think the line about the crowd saying that Cena couldn't wrestle, I think that's the one that's stuck in Cena's craw. That's
Oh,
the
it
one that
did.
kind of I think that's the one that kind of made him like, you son of a bitch. This was very reminiscent of the promo battles that The Rock and John Cena used to have,
Yeah.
where it got very real
Mm,
very quickly.
yeah.
And it almost felt like the whole idea of this promos and this segment between Cody and John was, you're gonna say something, I'm gonna say something, we're gonna go back and forth and try to see who's gonna get the one up on each other each time. You
Yeah,
know?
and what I find rather interesting, I don't know if you picked up on this too, when every time someone has tried to call out Cena for you sold out to The Rock, and Cody did repeatedly, everybody's saying you sold out to The Rock. Cena never even acknowledges The Rock at all. He doesn't say anything. He always
Right.
justifies it with, well, no, this was because I'm just doing something for me that now he like never mentions The Rock. So it's like maybe he doesn't want to admit that, yeah, I did sell out. Maybe because again, in his mind, in his self-righteous kind of way, it's like, well, no, I didn't sold out. I didn't sell out. I just did what I had to do because I was tired of being pushed around by the fans. And it's just like, maybe he doesn't even believe that. Because why?
Yeah.
Because if you didn't believe it, why wouldn't you just come out flat out outright and just be like, I didn't sell out. This is just what I wanted to do or something. I don't know. Like, I couldn't tell how he would write that one, but just the fact that he's not even acknowledging, and it's been brought up numerous times in these promos, and he never acknowledges it one time. So I'm wondering if maybe he's maybe a little bit conflicted but doesn't want to admit it, so we're just going to shut it down with like the same thing over and over again of just, no, I'm just doing this to like finally get back at the fans and blah 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 and whatever. And I just find it very interesting that he's never mentioned The Rock once. He's never mentioned the, yeah, I sold out, because I think a lot of other people would in that kind of situation and be like, you're damn right, I sold out because I want the title. But it's almost like he refuses to admit that or refuses to
Mm,
acknowledge that he sold out. So a little interesting to me, but
yeah. Hmm.
I feel like that's not accidentally that's not accident, it's not an accident, it's on purpose, I think, or accidentally on purpose that he's not mentioning it. But
I was wondering earlier if there was gonna be a situation where The Rock can get involved into this somewhere, like before WrestleMania. I just think maybe it's a little too late to
yeah.
add on to this. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, you got 2-ish weeks, so
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
not.
I wonder if maybe, I mean, maybe not, or if like, because they said that Cena's not going to be making any more appearances. Could maybe The Rock step in and make a
Yeah,
couple appearances before WrestleMania to keep adding on to the story? Because it's not like the story is going to go dark in the
no.
next 2.5 weeks or whatever. Um, Cody's going to have something to say. He's going to cut some type of promo. There's going to be something to keep it going. So maybe The Rock gets involved one week, you know?
Maybe. I mean, kind of has to, which is kind of interesting because we do have another question about the whole Cena and Cody promo, but we'll save that one for Mike's questions. But they both pretty much just asked about the promo itself, and we thought it was great. It was just like they did not
Yeah, no,
hold
it
back.
was it was I know Mike's question, but to me it was different from what I wanted to see, but
Yeah,
I still was very satisfied with the results.
yeah, I agree on that one. So mom was happy that you, as one of Athena's minions, were acknowledged
Yes.
on TV because she said all the
Yes.
minions, and I'm like, yeah, that's the one. That's Eric. That's one of the
I am.
minions.
I actually. That's what I thought of too when it happened. I was like, I'm a minion.
You're like,
I'm a
it's
minion.
me.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man, I was just. I'm happy that they're going this route, but I hope it doesn't lead to Mercedes winning another belt.
oh, I literally said the same thing. I'm like, she better not fucking take that title off of her. I swear to God. Like, I don't know because I feel like we don't seem to know what direction they're going in because like she came out and like got in like Mercedes' face, but then she also kind of like stared down Jamie Hayter a little bit. So I'm like, what are we doing here? I'm not sure, but oh, please don't have Mercedes take that belt off her. I'm begging you. Like
Uh,
of all people, that would be the biggest letdown for a
mm,
reign like Athena's had. I'm sorry. If you have somebody like Mercedes take that belt off of her, that is going to be an absolute waste of this entire time.
woo.
But that's it. We'll save that for another day when that actually is a
Mhm.
thing. But yeah, we heard that and we're like, up minions. We're like, up that Eric's one of those. He's probably
I
probably enjoying that. Like,
I am a minion, and I did think of myself when she mentioned
yeah, that's all that matters, right?
it.
All right. So to mom, in her opinion, the whole FTR drama's kind of like blah. She doesn't really care too much. She's just like, okay, whatever. I also
Yeah,
kind of agree. It's just kind of like what's the whole point of it? We kind of talked about it earlier. It's just like what's really the point of it because I just don't see breaking them up as a great idea. But
yeah. I think having them as a tag team is a better asset
yeah,
than breaking them apart and having them go their separate ways, where you have to worry about, now I have to worry about two separate stories that I have to elevate these two guys when I could have just kept them as a tag team.
yeah, exactly. It's just it doesn't make any sense. I'm not even sure why they're even hinting at it. It's just it's silly. But what else is new? Um, well, I mean, technically we answered this one already. Can Adam finally win the damn title already? Well, I mean, if it's up to us, he's going to. I just
Yeah,
feel like he has to. Again, he just kind of when we went back with the predictions, I feel like he just has to, or else this whole thing's just been a waste of time.
yeah, I would say so too. Again, it's one of those things, like, you don't wanna have the perception that Adam Cole is not a winner. He's already
Yeah,
like, especially when his perception is he's a main event player that can carry your company.
because he
Like,
can and has
yeah, so
numerous
like,
times.
why hasn't he done that yet?
Your guess will be as good as mine because I have the same exact question about Jay White, and yet literally that's still not happening. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It just is what it is. It's hopefully our patience will get rewarded, but
Mhm.
I don't know. And then also mom's final comment was welcome back Jamie. Yeah, I was I miss Jamie and that match with Billy Starks was good. That was
It was really good.
great.
Billy Starks, her last two matches, man, she
Yeah.
has been killing it. So congratulations to both of them. Was Jamie injured?
No, I think it might have been visa issues, maybe.
Oh,
I believe, which that just seems to be the problem with everything with the international
got
superstars with the visas. But yeah, I think it was a
gotcha.
visa, so hopefully that has been squared away because she's back. So I just love that ending of that match too. Just that
Yeah,
haterade off the rope. I'm like, oh, that was cool. That was nice.
perfect.
That was great. And both sides of this Owen Hart tournament, like the men's and the women's, it's like almost too stacked because it's just like, holy fuck, you could see at least half of the field on each side being like, oh yeah, they could totally win that because why not? Like, you could see Stat winning it. I'm sure you could see Thunder Rosa, I guess. You could see Jamie, and like I said, you could see Jay White, you could see Osprey. It's just like this is gonna be a wide. Maybe they finally listened to everybody complaining about how like people were seeing the Owen Hart tournaments as a waste of time because kind of they were. Like, not gonna lie, it's make it actually mean something and not just oh we're gonna give you this belt and you're gonna wear it around for 2 weeks and then you can just put it in your trophy case because no one gives a shit after a while. So hopefully they take have taken people's criticism seriously and actually make us give a shit about these tournaments. And I feel like just from the participants alone, I think they might have been listening to a couple of our
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
It's us guys. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're
we
welcome, guys.
we did this for you. Don't worry about it. All right, so that was all of mom's questions and comments. So thank you, mom, as always. Let us move on to Mike. So obviously, we already talked about Mike's first question, but his second question kind of goes into the whole Cena and Cody thing. So he would like you to admit that the verbal sparring with a little bit of physicality was a better option than your desired pull apart brawl. Would you like to defend yourself on
um,
that one?
the reason that this what happened on Monday worked out so well is because they were willing to go to places we didn't expect them to go.
Yeah.
We didn't expect them to drop these lines like Cody's like, John Cena, you're still my hero, but you're also a piece of shit. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Then mentioned Vince and buried Vince. That was great.
yeah, you mentioned Vince, you buried Vince, you mentioned AEW, you buried AEW. Like we didn't expect any of that.
No.
Not from John Cena. I pretty much expected John Cena to do the whole fine speech and then go into his diatribe. I didn't know they were going. I didn't think that they had it in them that they were going to verbally spar with each other that way.
They're gonna
That
unload the whole clip.
exactly. That said, I mean, I still would have loved the brawl. This to me, this was up there as like segment of the year. That
Yeah.
and the Gunther Jimmy Uso match and the ending to that, those to me are like segments of the year. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was a bad segment. I'm just like, if it's John Cena's last appearance before the WrestleMania match, I need some I need some umph. Like this gave me that umph, but they gave me the
Yeah.
umph in like a verbal sense. I needed more like physical action, you know?
Yeah. I could see
Uh
that.
yeah, but I mean again, to me it was it's up there for segment of the year. I didn't expect it to go that way. I think that's why I was so into it is because they took shots at each other. We didn't expect them to because we figured they'd be too nice, you know?
Yeah.
And this one showed that the gloves were off. They were
Yeah.
really going at it.
Yeah, it was just Christ. I'm still just thinking about it and it's wild.
Yeah,
And
it's really wild.
it's funny because Mike also asked me in this question, did I want a pull apart brawl or was I okay with mainly the verbal sparring? Honestly, I'm gonna disagree with you, Eric. I was wanting just the verbal sparring and just like the little like stare down because kind of going off of what you said, it went so hard, so personal, so fast. I feel like that works the best because then it's just that really like the tension you could cut through with a knife. Like it's that unease of like you're kind of leaning back in your seat and they're just like looking at each other like, oh shit, is it gonna happen? Is this gonna like oh, it's like you're on the edge of your seat and then you're kind of like again leaning back because you're like, oh shit, this is like gonna be a maybe a brawl, but then it doesn't. So you're like, all right, fine. But I just like that little bit of
Mm-mm.
tension and that little bit of drama that isn't immediately given away by just automatically going into a brawl. So I appreciate the fact that they didn't do it because now there's just more drama. And I think also it makes you want to look forward to when they finally get their hands on each other at WrestleMania. And granted, it's only 3 weeks, and unfortunately, that's going to fly by like it's nothing because time's a myth. So I think sometimes it's better to just like let it be and just be like, oh, I can't wait until these two get their hands on each other because they just fried each other alive. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I was the complete opposite. That's one of the very few times you and I are opposites on things. But yeah, I didn't mind that there wasn't a brawl because I think there's more drama and anticipation that way, at least in this sense.
Fine with me.
Yeah, right. I mean, to be fair, I got what I wanted. It
Yeah,
didn't
no,
happen,
like,
so
yeah. I mean, like, in a sense, even though I didn't get the pull apart brawl, I still got what I wanted as well
yeah,
because we still got a memorable segment that made us go, ooh, like
yeah,
that was something. So in a way, I still got what I wanted because I still got a memorable segment.
yeah. All right, so we both were happy with that segment. That was
Mhm.
good. What is the dumbest final match of a wrestler's career? I said on Twitch, Corbin versus Angle. Yeah, that one was pretty. Yes.
That was not fun.
I have to try. Okay, let me Wikipedia this real quick because I don't.
I got mine. So while you're Wikipediaing and googling, I'll
If
just
it's
go
the
on my
same one, I swear to God, I swear to
I,
God,
I,
but go on.
I'll just go on my diatribe here. Uh the match that happened in Saudi
God
Arabia.
damn it! That was literally what I was gonna say. Shit.
Really?
Give
Really?
me yes, because it
No
was
way.
terrible. Like,
It was terrible. It was so
ugh,
bad. The Brothers of Destruction
God,
versus D-Generation X.
ugh,
What a fucking it was so
waste.
bad. It was so bad that we still don't acknowledge it as Shawn Michaels' final match.
Literally, like, God damn it! I was gonna say, I'm like, I wonder if Eric's gonna pick this one too because it's just so egregiously bad. And look what happened. We were right. Like, because it's the truth. That's just like, again, you just refuse to acknowledge that that was even a thing because it was just like, ugh, yeah, it's just so fucking bad.
Yeah, it was um not only was the match bad, it just bad shit kept happening. If that
Yeah,
made if
it's like a
that
train
makes
wreck. It just went
yeah,
downhill.
yeah, it was just Triple H tearing his pec,
Yep.
Kane's mask coming off, just a bunch of miscues. It was just it was not a fun watch. I mean,
No, it was hard to watch.
this was nostalgia gone wrong.
Yeah, this is when you stretch it a little too far. You
Yeah,
use it a
yeah.
little too much. And hopefully they learn their lesson from that because holy fuck, that was bad. Ugh. So hopefully we apologize if we unlocked some things for you guys. Our
Yeah.
bad, but yeah.
That to me, that's not the last Shawn Michaels match, not in my eyes.
Nope. Nope, that whole show just didn't happen in
Yeah,
general. Like,
yeah, there you go. That's a good way to put it.
it's just like we did like the Men in Black with the laser, put the
Yep.
glasses on, just mind wipe everybody. Like that thing didn't happen. It
There you go.
because it didn't. Ugh. Will they make another triple threat for Mania? Knight versus Solo versus Braun. I fucking hope not. I really hope not. We don't
Yeah.
need any more multi-person matches, guys. Like, please don't.
Yeah,
Please don't.
I get the idea that you want everybody, as many people as you can get on the big show, so that way they can get the big fight feel and get the big fight payday and all that stuff. But sometimes that's the danger. That's why I wouldn't want to be in Triple H's shoes to
Mm-mm.
have to tell someone like, "Hey, you're not gonna be on WrestleMania this year."
Yeah,
So like,
sorry.
yeah, like hang out, have a good time,
Yeah, go sit in catering. It's great. Like,
yeah, exactly. So like I don't envy anybody who's in that position that they have to tell someone that they don't make it to the WrestleMania card, but that's the nature of the business. That's the reality of the situation. Not
yeah,
everybody gets to be on WrestleMania. But in terms of another triple threat match, I mean, golly, man,
please
this
no.
kind of feels like what they did last year when they tried to get all those tag teams on
Oh
the
god.
show,
Yeah,
and
don't
then they
even.
try and then
Ugh.
they try to get the final testament with the street profits and all that
Yeah.
stuff. That's what this kind of feels like.
Yeah, it's and kind of like what you said with Triple H. He's gonna be damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. So it's just like, just rip the band-aid off and be like, look, it's not happening. I'm sorry. Maybe next year, but you just can't because that's gonna wear people out really quick. Because
Yeah.
from what I remember, those the street fight. I mean, it had its moments, but overall, those tag matches, I'm just like, might have been the hypothermia. It might have just been the fact that it was like again, they had their moments. It wasn't overall a terrible match, but it was also just like, this is fine, I guess. Like, it is what it is, but yeah, no, it's like I don't mind if we don't have another triple threat match because I don't think we really need one, and
No.
hopefully that doesn't happen because yikes. Uh ooh, that's a good one. Who do we pick to have the first main feud for Ray Phoenix when he shows up?
I wanted, and I kind of hate this because it kind of is like, oh, let's just lump them all together. I was gonna go with a Santos Escobar, in the
That'd
sense
be a
where
good one though.
I feel like they would try to like recruit him into Legado del Fantasma, and he
Yeah.
just goes, "No, I don't want to be involved in this." And then Santos takes that as a personal slight, and that
Yeah.
starts off that feud for Ray Phoenix. I'm surprised they didn't jump the gun and just put together the Lucha Bros and have him on Raw.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I mean, that could have been the easy way to go. Maybe they just want to. I think we kind of, well, we talked about it last week, if I remember correctly, where it's like, show the WWE universe, how good they both are by themselves, and then it's like, oh, you think they're good now?
Yeah.
Just you wait until we put them together, and you guys are gonna get your
Yeah.
minds blown.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe that's the idea they're gonna go with. I wouldn't be mad to see him go against Andrade. I feel like that'd be kind of
Mm.
a fun
I,
one.
yeah.
Carmelo Hayes, that'd be another one.
Ooh.
Um,
He and
mm,
Carmelo Hayes will rip it up.
oh yeah, oh
They'll
yes, they
go.
will.
They would go crazy. And that's the crazy thing is like I don't want to be that guy, but I really feel like AEW didn't really unlock the potential that we could have gotten with not only Ray Phoenix but with the Lucha Bros as an entity. I really feel like we just basically scratched the surface, and
Yeah.
now Ray Phoenix is gonna go as crazy as his brother is going on Raw.
Yeah, I think, well, and I feel like the injuries didn't help either. It felt like every other month Phoenix was hurt, so that probably didn't help things at all either. But yeah, they could have done so much more with them when he was healthy. But
Mm.
hopefully we don't have to talk about that anymore, and maybe we can just say like, oh, that was a shame back then, but now it's just great. So but yeah, he has plenty of there are plenty of people on SmackDown that he could, rip it up with and it'd be wild. But I feel like if I had to pick between any of those, I probably would actually just go with Carmelo Hayes because those two are just
Yeah,
that damn good.
that sounds fun.
Oh, and it will be fun because it's going to happen eventually. It's just maybe not the first one, possibly the first one, but inevitably when it does happen, it's going to be great. Okay, so who is the GOAT of not quite main event level star? They won a world championship, but dropped mainly to a mid card, upper mid card. Wade Barrett made a good case for the Miz on SmackDown. Um, uh, it's always tough because I feel like Miz has always been great, like consistency wise.
Right, he holds that title, like he holds that distinction.
Yeah, but I feel like that's pretty much it. Especially lately, because it's just kind of like, like
I was gonna go with Finn Balor.
yeah,
Um,
unfortunately, yeah. Ugh.
and that hurts. That
Hate to
hurts.
say that, but
Yeah, because I literally thought when Finn
Sheamus?
Balor, yeah, what Sheamus too, but I mean, well, yeah, maybe Sheamus,
We'll
but
say
I
both.
like, I literally like, I thought when Balor got called up to the main roster and he was having that thing with Rollins and they
Yeah,
instantly went into the demon gimmick, I was like, all right, shit's changed now. They're starting to recognize to go with the different cooler stuff. And then I feel like maybe the injury was like a sign where Vince was like, see, this is why I stick with my Ortons and my
yeah,
Cenas and my, I don't deviate from those guys because they can handle the workload. And I honestly think that injury really hurt Finn Balor to the point where like they can't build him back up.
yeah,
It's gonna be really tough to ever see Finn Balor back into that main event slot where he's going for a world championship and maybe as a face instead of a heel.
and that just hurts to say because
Yeah. Shinsuke is another one.
yeah, that's another. Like I said, I was gonna say Sheamus too because
Sheamus has that distinct, but like I don't. Maybe it's because I don't look at Sheamus the same way I look at the Miz. I kind of look at the Miz with apathy. Like it's just like,
yeah,
it's like, with Sheamus, I'm like, I like Sheamus. I like Sheamus matches. I like especially the matches where he can beat the shit out of someone and get his ass beat at the same time. Like anytime
yeah,
he's in there with Gunther or anything like that, I'm locked in. So it's just
yeah.
like I think it's more so either the shock of it all with Balor or just the straight apathy with someone like The Miz.
Yeah, the whole Balor thing just like sucks because he's pretty much the biggest what if scenario with WWE where it's like if he really wouldn't have screwed his shoulder up, what would have actually happened? Like everything would have probably been different. Like
He probably could have been like the next Shawn Michaels or something.
yeah, oh, God. It's just oh, it just
And
sucks.
also too, you got to wonder what if Triple H was in charge, 10 years beforehand.
Yeah.
Does that change the trajectory of everything?
God. That could be a whole episode of just what ifs. That would oh God, we'd be here all night. That would have to be like a 2-3 part series of what
For
ifs.
sure.
Ugh. Okay, so who are we predicting for a big year post WrestleMania? One male, one female, and one tag team.
All right. So one male I'm predicting post WrestleMania to have a big breakout would
Don't
be
take my answer.
I'm going with the Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker.
Okay, that's okay. Never mind.
I think he's gonna
Never
have a
mind.
big. I think he's gonna have a big year. Hopefully, he's gonna have a big year because he's kind of falling back a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of falling back a little bit, starting to pick up steam now with the whole Penta situation and the Judgment Day, which I think is pretty cool. So they're
Hmm.
starting to elevate him a little bit. I feel like post WrestleMania, because to me, like the whole wrestling calendar, it starts and ends with WrestleMania. It's like once WrestleMania is over, it's like New Year. Like Raw is
Yeah.
like New Year's Day,
Yeah.
basically. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it post WrestleMania. Hopefully they don't shoehorn that Penta Braun Judgment Day situation into WrestleMania, but maybe post WrestleMania they can clarify that. But I really feel like a big men's breakout for the coming year after WrestleMania would be Braun Breaker. A female, I want to probably keep it with the Intercontinental Championship and Lyra Valkyria. I really feel like they use Lyra Valkyria like, oh, we need a solid match. Let's just throw an Intercontinental
Yeah.
Championship match out there. And because we know we're going to get a solid match, but that's because Lyra Valkyria is so freaking good.
Yeah.
You
She
know,
is.
I think it's just the fact that like we won't realize how good she is until she gets a full year of running with that title. Maybe every other week there's an Intercontinental Championship match where she's taking someone down. It would just mean that they would need more females in that division.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. That's a good one though. That's a good one too. And one tag team.
One tag team. I'm gonna go with the Motor City Machine Guns. I think they
Ooh.
really. I think the Motor City Machine Guns were kind of on a trial run to
Yeah.
see if they could really fit the dichotomy of the WWE way of doing things, and
Hmm.
I think they've excelled and they showed that they can really fit into the tag team division and they could possibly have a run with it. But I mean, I'm not mad at the Street Profits having a run with the titles now. So a Motor City Machine Gun Street Profits situation would be really fun to watch post WrestleMania to me.
Yeah. Those are some good choices. I like those. For me, I'm gonna predict for the male. I'll say. Hmm. I'm gonna say someone that hasn't shown up yet, but we know is pretty much the worst kept secret showing up literally right after WrestleMania. I'm gonna say Aleister Black's gonna remind everybody of the NXT Aleister Black
mm,
because
I
I feel
like
like
that.
he's gonna have something to prove. He's gonna have a chip on his shoulder because he absolutely was not used correctly in AEW. I don't know why. I don't know. Well, again, we don't know what happened, but I feel like when you have a creative mind like him, you need to like use him as much as possible. And clearly, Tony just didn't see the vision. So hopefully, Triple H will be a little more accepting. And I mean, hell, he essentially made Aleister Black into who he was in NXT. So hopefully, we can get that again. And I
Right.
feel like Alistair is going to be, if it's Alistair, but it's going to probably be Alistair, is going to be even more motivated this time around. So I think he'll have a pretty good year. Female. I'm just gonna say it, Dakota Kai. I feel like she's like right there. And again, whole bias aside, yes, I know it sounds biased, but it's just like it just feels like she's right there
Right.
and just hasn't like gotten the opportunity to fully just like get to that next level. And I feel like she's been beat down so many times that at some point she's got to get her just due because I feel like she's more than earned it. She's put in the work, still solid in the ring, still just solid all around. So I feel like maybe this is finally the year that she gets what she's earned and I can feel finally vindicated after years and years and years. But maybe, who knows?
I agree.
Eh, if there's a God. I'm tired of being in the trenches, but I'll continue to be there. But one of these days it'll have to work. And tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I feel like I'm gonna kind of go in the same kind of same mindset I had for Alistair and say the New Day, because I feel
Ooh,
like they'll in this new obviously version that is
the new
being
New Day.
the new day, I think they're going to come around and show why they were one of the best tag teams for literal decades at this point, it seems like, and how they even had them as one of the greatest tag teams of all time, period. So I feel like people have kind of forgotten that because it's been a hot minute and they were kind of just, coasting. But I feel like maybe with this new change and attitude and poor Biggie and all the stuff they put him through, I feel like they'll be motivated to show people that they shouldn't be messed around with this time around.
I like it. I like that.
So hopefully one of us will be right about one of them, maybe one of them at least. But
Thank God for the New Day. Not really though.
no, let's not. But well,
No, they usually come on this. They come on the screen, and it's kind of fun now to be like, no, boo new, yeah, boo New Day. It's kind of fun to boo the New Day. I'm not gonna lie.
so weird though. It's just
It
like,
is
what
weird,
alternate universe are we living in? We have to boo Cena and the New Day both at the same
yeah,
time.
right?
Like,
It's a
ugh,
crazy time.
get me off this ride. I don't want to be on it anymore. But oh well. And finally, Mike's last question. It's a very loaded one.
Oh,
What is the favor?
what is the favor?
We'll see if
My
we're both on the wavelength.
my guess is he's gonna ask Paul Heyman to be in his corner and
Damn
not
it!
Roman Reigns' corner.
Son of a
Was that
bitch.
was that it?
That's literally what I was gonna say. He's gonna be like,
Really?
literally, that was gonna be it. He was gonna be like, Paul, I was here first before him. You were my guy before anybody else. I was your guy before anybody else. I want you in my corner. He doesn't deserve you, essentially.
Damn. Could you imagine if that's what it is though?
Oh, and the look on Roman's face too. Oh my god, like
And
fuck.
Heyman has to choose, and then Heyman's gonna be so torn that
Distraught.
he's gonna morph back into distraught Heyman where he's
They're
like
gonna be
disheveled
literally.
and not shaved and hasn't slept in like a week.
Oh
Uh
yeah. See, that's cinema we were talking about, but yeah, I feel like that has to be the favor because everybody again, it's that whole thing of everybody thought it was you got me the main event of WrestleMania, and then as soon as like that's not the favor, we're like, ah, fuck, what could it be now?
how good was that though?
And then it
I
just
did
goes off. Like,
yeah.
okay.
Like
Oh,
we didn't get to talk about that because that happened this past Friday. But you know how I'm always talking about the cliffhanger ending,
yeah.
Tell me that wasn't a picture perfect cliffhanger ending.
Because you're literally just sitting there. I don't know what you did, but when he's like, that's not the favor, we're like, oh shit, what's the favor? And then it just blacked out. We're like, you've got to be kidding me. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I
Like,
literally because I was streaming on Twitch and I literally looked at the camera for like 2 minutes in stunned silence while like the start of the whatever show comes on after SmackDown is rolling and I'm still like
just
no
sitting
no
there.
no 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 way no way I thought
Uh
that was
huh.
it and how crazy was it to see CM Punk like show emotion and break down in tears and Paul
Yeah.
Heyman break down in tears. Like it felt like that moment is when CM Punk found out he was main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh, that's. Oh, I just can't. Like, fuck. It's just they just know how to get you. They really
Yeah.
do. Like, and then they
And
do that, and then they do the ending, and you're like, you son of a bitch, son of a bitch.
people were doubting this build up and doubting the cinema if they were able gonna be able to recreate the feeling of last year and to me they're living up to it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And see, this is the one where they're like, "Well, I don't know, it might be the women's triple threat that might." And I'm like, "No, I even called it. I'm pretty sure on this episode, I one of these episodes I called it. I'm like, nope, it's gonna be the men's triple threat because why wouldn't it be?"
Right.
And look at it
Yeah,
now.
it's just it's the biggest story.
Yeah, like it mm. Oh, it's just cinema. It's like I just want to see it. I just want to see. I need to know the favor. I just need to know. Like, damn. Well, I guess hopefully we won't have to wait too long to find out. But
No,
it,
I would say, like, I feel like the go home episode of Raw and SmackDown for WrestleMania are going to be must see TV.
oh, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be so insane. I can't wait. I just can't wait for this to happen.
Me either.
All right, so that is all of the questions. We did the predictions. We are all done.
We have given you a chocked full episode of wrestling goodness. Hopefully, you have enjoyed your time hanging out with us. And for those of you that don't know, this podcast, wherever you're listening to it, if you haven't hit that follow or subscribe button to keep updated with the Ringside Rundown, do so now. This podcast is available on any platform you listen to podcasts. Just search Ringside Rundown, hit follow or subscribe, and you should find it. If not, you can hit us up on social media. We're available Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Ringside Rundown. Shoot us a DM. Let us know it's not on the platform that you use. We will give you a silver platter with a link to the podcast on the platform of your choosing. But the caveat is you have to give us back the silver platter because you think the Undertaker was in the original Boneyard Cinema match. No, it was Shay's mom. She
Yeah.
she is the original phenom. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I wouldn't mess with her, or
Mm.
else she'll put you 6 feet underground, and you will have no choice but to rest in peace.
Yeah.
So,
I've gotten that threat before, so you don't want to mess around with that.
has she ever hit you with the? This was always a favorite of my mother's. I brought you into this world. I could take
Take
you
you
out.
out,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've been hit with that one before. I've also been hit with the they made me take you home from the hospital.
Wow, I never heard that one.
Yeah, that was she made some random stranger in the grocery store laugh. I'm like, well, I'm glad somebody's enjoying this because I'm sure not. But so don't mess with my mom. Trust me.
Yeah,
Just trust
yeah.
me.
So
Don't do
make
it.
sure you give us back that silver platter, but it's also available for you if you need it for an episode. If you want to check out this episode, it's also available on YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel. Over 1,600
Damn.
subscribers on YouTube, which is absolutely insane. I don't know what the hell is going on, but check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/at ringside run pod. And for every Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision, NXT, and WWE PLE, I do watch alongs on Twitch. So come hang out with me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ringside rundown. Not only that, but if you subscribe to the Twitch channel, that gives you access to a secret part of our Discord where we're going to be watching AEW Dynasty this Sunday on pay-per-view. So if
Yes.
you want to save yourself $50 having to pay for a pay-per-view and also come hang out with myself, Mike, Jeff, and all of our crew that hangs out and watch these pay-per-views together, come do so. Subscribe to the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ringside rundown. Shay, where can they get in touch with you?
Can find me on Twitter at ShaileneHickson21. Talking all nonsense, the usuals, just pretty much anything and everything. I'm going to the local Comic Con this weekend, so that should be fun. So I may have some pictures
Nice.
in that. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Nice. Make sure you guys give Shay a follow. She's always a good follow. And then we're coming back next week. We're gonna be talking about Dynasty, probably answering more of your questions. So make sure you mark your calendars, set your reminders, so that way you know when the next episode of the Ringside Rundown is happening. It's available again on any podcast platform you use and YouTube. So for Shay Hickson, my name is Erik Vasquez. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Take care.
See you later, guys.